This is it. We're actually here. I'm here in this room. You can see behind me. Maybe if you're watching, not listening, you can hear my voice. I'm in a place. I'm in this world. You're in a place. You're in a room. You're out walking. You're driving in a car. And you can see what place you're in. We are in the actual world. There are people of a religious or philosophical bent. They say, no, this isn't the real world. We're not really here. Everything we see is an illusion. Or this is a garbage world. We're stuck here, but the real world is somewhere else. It is quite different and it is much better. The real world might be somewhat unimaginable. We can have some fantasies about it, but what we do know, they say, is that it is perfect. This is a vision that is attractive when it seems like this world is no damn good. The message that this is a garbage world then becomes really attractive, and we want a way of escape to some other better world. So this is an idea that is just absolutely part of our basic way of being, and we're imaginatively living in some fantasy land a lot of the time. We're not actually willing to admit that we are here. The only reason for thinking that there might be some better world is the sense that life couldn't be so unfair that we're stuck here in a world that is completely meaningless, worthless. It is dust and ashes, it's garbage. The idea that there is some other better world is obviously false. And so there's a way of reacting to that, which is to say, yeah, we have to face up to the fact that this is all there is. Is this all there is? Yeah, this is all there is. So I guess we have to make the best of it. This leads to a kind of brutal materialism in which we imagine, okay, the world is actually meaningless, but we evolved to like some things and dislike some other things. And so we haven't actually got any choice here. All we can do is try to get as much of the stuff we like as possible and accumulate it and consume it and try to get rid of as much of the bad stuff. This isn't even hedonism. I mean, hedonism would be better than this. This is a grind. Hedonism is a kind of carefree enjoyment of sensory pleasure where you can get it. This kind of materialistic outlook is actually joyless. So, this fantasy that there's a better world leads to the fantasy that this world is meaningless and ordinary, and that all that is possible is engaging with it in an ordinary way. It's like birth, school, work, death, birth, school, work, death, birth, school, work, death. Is that all there is? Yeah, that's all there is, this materialist view says. And that's completely wrong because the world isn't ordinary. The world is absolutely extraordinary, the actual world, not this imaginary fantasy world. The actual world is incredible. It is just amazingly beautiful. If you look around wherever you are, there's colors, there's shapes, there's things happening. There's plants growing here and there's these books that are such incredible colors. And we don't want to see that because the extraordinariness is threatening. It could be overwhelming. The beauty is overwhelming the possibility of joy is overwhelming because it can be taken away at any moment. And the horror, the amount of absolute terror and suffering that is going on in the world, we just don't want to deal with any of that. It's just too much. And so we unsee it. And we know, yes, flowers are beautiful. Okay, yes, everybody knows that. And yes, you can look at flowers and they're nice. And we also know there's horrific wars going on with people being bombed and mutilated and dying in the street and living in absolute terror. And that's somewhere else. Let's be in the ordinary world because the extraordinary world is too much to deal with. So we narrow our scope of vision to what's immediately on our plate. Taxes are due tomorrow. We'd better stick to taxes. There's nothing more ordinary than taxes, let's face it. And that's life. So we shut out the actual world and live in a different fantasy world, not the fantasy world of the perfected philosophical utopia or religious enlightenment or something. We live in the fantasy world of ordinariness. It is possible to start poking holes in the cloak of unseeing we put in front of the world and to let a little light in so that suddenly the intense red and blue of these books shows up as something remarkable and not just, oh yes, that's a book. Then we don't have to live in the ordinary world. We can live in the actual world, which is extraordinary.